The context. BaoTheWhale, or just Bao, was a large indie VTuber who debuted on October 30th, 2020, peaking around 633,000 followers on Twitch, roughly late October of 2025. The so-called end of Bao's VTuber arc can theoretically be traced back to roughly around July 18th, 2026, when Bao would go on a strictly IRL stream streak, with the past 7 streams being IRL focused as of the video's publication, as well as pivoting towards IRL tweets after her face reveal on July 30th. While the idea of a VTuber showing their full IRL identity is a highly debated one as to whether it should be encouraged or not, this initially wouldn't cause any major eyebrows to be raised. However, on August 10th, 2026, VTuber BaoTheWhale would post a short 18-second video that pointed out how Bao kept the VTuber identity despite most of her recent content being IRL focused. Shortly after, Bao would remove her VTuber affiliations in her bio, choosing to also remove her art tags as well. The responses. Generally speaking, most of the community expressed a fair mix of shock and overall negativity towards Bao at the news, with a chunk of the community essentially happy to see her leave the VTubing niche. Now, to understand why the community has expressed such a negative sentiment towards Bao and her decision, we have to look back at what caused Bao to be considered a controversial figure, which arguably came from 3 specific controversies that happened in a short span of time. Perhaps the most infamous instance was the Cinder controversy that spanned over most of 2025, where several individuals, including Bao, accused Cinder of being a massive manipulator who used everyone for the sake of her own growth. While I won't dive into Cinder's 1,000-page response docu and Bao's section of said docu, as I've done that in a different video, Cinder initially apologized to Bao for her negative resentment towards her, though claimed that Bao was severely misinformed about the situation, which led Bao to allegedly create her call-out docu that had a bunch of false claims. Once Cinder's docu came out and the community had the time to read through it, Bao would take a hit to her reputation, with a negative follower trend since the docu, though wouldn't be hit as hard as Cinder. Shortly after that controversy, Bao would find herself in another controversy, this time focusing on her and Japanese artist platform Skeb, where she essentially called out Skeb artists for posting her commissions without permission, which led to a response from Skeb themselves, stating that clients have no authority to restrict creators from publishing their works and commissions. Bao would claim that her post wasn't about Skeb, however, the community thought otherwise. The last major controversy would be the controversy regarding Bao's tweet warning smaller female content creators to stay away from larger male content creators who might be love bombing them, which would later be determined to be referenced in Sykkuno. While I went over this controversy and Sykkuno's controversy in previous videos as well, the gist of it was that there was a Twitter war between those who thought Bao's statement was misandrist and those who thought it was a fair statement. However, most of the backlash towards Bao came after her Twitch stream, where she doubled down on her tweet and called out those who were calling her a misandrist, primarily citing Cinder's community as the instigators. The combination of these 3 controversies arguably led to her reputation as a VTuber being considered a dubious one, resulting in her average viewership on Twitch being significantly slashed. While Bao never explicitly tweeted out, "Oh, I'm quitting VTubing guys for X, Y, and Z reasons," the community has speculated as to why Bao might have opted to ditch the VTuber niche. Some state that Bao is doing this to try and avoid the community that she was considered controversial in, perhaps as a way to start fresh in a different niche, while some others question why this is even a highly debated situation in the first place. The aftermath. In the end, Bao hasn't expressed any intentions of going back from posting IRL content, and is likely a long-term decision from her. While a large chunk of VTubing community members expressed a good riddance mentality over her departure from the niche, we can only see how well she does in the IRL niche from here. As with all my videos, do not harass anyone in or outside of this video.